Okay, so it has been 9 months since I got my first ever OLED, the LG C3. After watching countless videos and reading hundreds of Reddit posts, I decided to get the LG C3 over the S90C. But if you'll take a look at the comments in my previous C3 video, you'll find that people think I made the mistake of choosing WOLED and not choosing the superior QD-OLED technology of Samsung. Well, did I actually make a mistake? Let's find out in this video. The first thing you'll notice is the setup change from my previous C3 video. Well, that is because your boy has finally moved into his own space. I mounted the TV a couple of weeks ago, and while it looks high, it isn't that much. Also, please ignore the cable mess. I am looking for a nice wall shelf, and once I have it, the setup should be much cleaner. Now, since the location changed, it also means that I repacked this TV and moved it to a new location with no damage. Now, only God and probably my brother know how nervous I was during this whole process, but it also shows that OLEDs are well built and don't need to be handled with much care. Obviously, the biggest reason I got this TV is because of its 65-inch OLED display. I cannot explain how delightful it has been to consume content on this TV and play high refresh rate video games. If you have not yet experienced OLED in your life, I highly recommend doing so. Almost everyone who comes to my place and watches TV asks why the colors and contrast look so great. I then try to proceed to explain the magic that is OLED technology. But of course, once I tell them the price of the TV, they are immediately put off. And I get why that is. No one other than tech enthusiasts like myself would want to spend this much amount on a TV. Maybe in a couple of years, once the prices come down, OLEDs will be much more common. Now, in terms of daily usage, the TV has more than 2100 hours in a little over 9 months. It comes down to roughly 12 hours per day. My family watches a lot of TV, so the usage is kind of within range. Personally, I watch a lot of cricket, and The Office is also always playing in the background, so this number kind of makes sense. Experiencing movies and TV shows on OLEDs is just out of this world. I remember when I first started watching content on this TV, I was always left in awe. Although it has kind of become common since then, yet I still love it as much as day one. A big reason I wanted to get an OLED was for gaming. HDR games along with 120Hz support is a dream combination. Now I know I only have a PS5, but I still love playing games on the C3. Cyberpunk was amazing, and nowadays I'm enjoying Horizon Forbidden West. The VRR support is awesome, and I cannot wait to see what the PS5 Pro offers when it launches later this year. Probably the biggest difference between the C3 and the S90C is the brightness. I get that Samsung's QD OLED technology is brighter, but honestly, the LG C3 is no slouch. Disclaimer though, I haven't had the chance to actually compare them side by side, but maybe Samsung can send me the S90D. But for me, the C3 has been more than enough. Although OLEDs are made for dark environments, yet the C3 tackles light pretty well. Now there's plenty of sunlight in the living room, and the C3 is more than enough at 80% brightness. Well-lit scenes and content are never an issue. The only time the viewing experience becomes slightly less than ideal is probably in darker or night scenes. And then there's also the issue of glare. OLEDs have a glossy finish, and thus even a tiny bit of reflection will be picked up by the TV. It does bother me sometimes, but that's a trade-in you must make to experience OLED technology. I know Samsung is tackling this issue with the anti-glare coating on the S95D, and maybe that will make its way to the future LG TVs. Now you'll also notice I haven't discussed the speaker quality. It is good, but I've always used a Samsung soundbar as I'm never happy with the inbuilt speakers of any TV. But if you don't have a soundbar, I think you should still be fine. Oh, and I almost forgot to talk about one of the most important things, which is the software. LG's webOS has been a delight to use. The Magic Remote comes with plenty of features. One of the most beloved is the scrolling wheel, which is super helpful in scrolling. But it does annoy me when I'm trying to press it and instead it slips and turns on the mouse feature. It happens more than you might think. The TV has also received a lot of software updates. webOS has been as smooth as day one so far. And that sums up my experience with the LG C3 over the past 9 months. I love it, my family loves it, and whoever comes at my place loves that TV. Now initially I was a bit hesitant on spending almost $2,700 Canadian on a TV, but I think the LG C3 is one of the best products I've owned, probably along with that MacBook Pro you see in the background. Now if you have a lot of money to spend on a TV, I would highly recommend getting an OLED panel. And that's it for this video folks, subscribe and I will catch you all in the next one.